Hello, hello, and welcome everyone. How's everyone today? Okay, get it lined up here. Hope everybody can see pretty good. Welcome to PICK-3 at a Glance, family, and first-time viewers. This is my question and answer section today. Okay. See what we got going on here. Question and answer session. And welcome, happy Monday. And PICK-3 at a glance, like I say, OPPB, be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget, play responsibly. Here at PICK-3 at a glance, we're the home of no grizz, no root sums, no tic-tac-toes, no date sums, no multiple different workouts and rundowns that you have to try to learn and understand. Because I put together a simple strategy with 22 numbers that I do the 111 rundown on. With those 22 numbers, you have all 1,000 numbers in their possible combination. Hey, Seashell, glad to have you with us. Glad to have you with us. And with that, you have all 1,000 numbers in their possible combinations. And at a glance, as you track the numbers, eliminate numbers, working with the law average, you're looking at what numbers are left over to play. You have 1,000 numbers, you have 365 days in a year, and you're only going to get a third of those 1,000 numbers. So it's imperative that you track the actual 1,000 numbers to see what they're doing, working with the law average, where set it up so that you're playing what the numbers are left, because you're narrowing the numbers down so you don't have to be looking at playing with all 1,000 numbers. Also, please like and subscribe. Now, one of my main things that I have is with Eddie Tipton. Eddie Tipton, now, is the lottery rigged? I don't know if it's rigged now, but I know for sure it can be rigged because Eddie Tipton, he did it. He rigged the state lottery. He was security of programming, the numbers and everything for the state lottery of Iowa. And he rigged the lottery for over $24 million that he was trying to win and get away with. So I don't know if everybody's familiar with it, but I studied Eddie Tipton and looked at how he did things to kind of put my strategy together. So what I'm going to do is introduce you all to how Eddie Tipton operated and what he did, and he went to prison for it. And I want everybody to be aware that the lottery can be rigged. So when you play responsibly. Don't gamble up all your money because now with AI and technology, instead of the numbers being random, the lottery can actually pick the numbers that pay out the less bets, I believe. So, but with my strategy, you still can win. I still win, but if you're not mature in playing PICK-3, You really need to study and have a system where you can study and track all 1,000 numbers and know what's going on with those 1,000 numbers. So I'm going to start this. It's like 8 minutes of about Eddie Tipton and his brother and a sheriff that rigged the lottery and stole millions of dollars before he got caught.
His name is Eddie. He lives in Iowa. He's a computer programmer, and he also works for the Multi-State Lottery Association. And he's going to use this position there to enact this wild scheme. See, Eddie is actually the director of security at the Multi-State Lottery Association, and part of his job involves designing the software that randomly picks the winning numbers for these lotteries. And so Eddie's been working in this job for like 2 years, and then one day, everything changes. Because he's at work and he's chatting with a coworker, and the coworker is joking around, and he asks Eddie if he's put his own secret winning numbers into the software. And Eddie is like, say what now? And coworker's like, bro, you wrote the software so you can set the winning numbers. And Eddie's like, oh snap, that's right, I'm the one writing the software. I actually could rig this whole thing and win the lottery and make myself rich. And that is exactly what he's gonna do. So Eddie gets right to work and he starts writing code on the Multi-State Lottery Association computer. And this code will basically help predict the winning numbers. Then, one night, he's working late in the office and there's no one else around. So he gets some of those yellow sticky notes and he starts writing down the different sets of possible winning numbers for this lottery that's about to happen all the way over in Colorado. Now, the jackpot for this lottery in Colorado is a big fat $4.8 million. So there's a lot on the line here. However, Eddie has a problem. He can't just roll over to Colorado and play the lottery himself. He's an employee of the Multi-State Lottery Association. It's against company policy for lottery employees to play the lottery. Plus, that would be very suspicious if a lottery employee won the jackpot. So then Eddie has to find someone to play it for him. And what does he do? Eddie recruits his brother. This guy, Tommy. And Tommy is a sheriff's deputy, of all things. But Tommy also just happens to be taking a trip to Colorado soon. Because he's gonna look for, and I'm not making this up, Bigfoot. Yes, Tommy is going several states away to hunt for the legendary mythical creature. I guess he's just into that kind of stuff. So anyway, Eddie hits Tommy up and he's like, hey, while you're out there in Colorado looking for Bigfoot, could you play a bunch of these lottery numbers I got? Because one of them is going to win. And Tommy, he's like, alright. Now, while Tommy's out there in Colorado, he doesn't actually find Bigfoot, womp womp, but he does buy up a bunch of lotto tickets. And sure enough, when the time comes and they draw the winning lottery numbers, boom, one of Tommy's tickets wins. However, he doesn't actually win $4.8 million because some other people win too, so the winnings are split between him and some other random winners. Regardless, Tommy ends up getting a cash payout of nearly $570,000, and he goes and he splits it with Eddie. Not a bad payday. Oh, but Eddie's scam is not over yet. That was way too easy. So for the next 10 years, Eddie uses his magic software and he gets the winning numbers, and he has another person, Tommy or whoever else he's scamming with at the time. He has that person go to other states and play their lottery and collect the winnings. And they win big. $22,000 in Kansas, $780,000 in Wisconsin, $900,000 in Oklahoma. Bro is raking it in. Until one day, Eddie makes a big mistake. Because he walks into a convenience store and he buys one of the winning tickets himself. And you can see him here, he's right there in the black hoodie, looking all kinds of shady. And also, this particular lottery he's playing, this ain't no regular lottery. This is the Hot Lotto, which has a massive jackpot of $16.5 million. So, of course, he buys the tickets and he picks the numbers, and the ones he picked end up being the winner. And bam, he wins the jackpot. But, again, there's a problem. He still can't collect it himself. He's got to go find someone else who can. Meanwhile, the lottery commission, they know someone won. They know someone bought the winning ticket. They just don't know who. So they're just waiting on whoever to come forward and claim this prize money. And they're hits up his friend in Texas, this guy, Robert. And Robert, he's been already helping him with this lotto scam. And Eddie asked Robert to help him figure out how to collect this $16.5 million jackpot he just won. So Robert hits up a guy in Canada that he knows, and he asks him to call into Iowa and claim the prize. So then, 10 months after the winning numbers were announced, this random guy from Canada calls into Iowa claiming he's got the winning lottery ticket. But he says that he's too sick to go there in person and that they'll just have to give him the winnings. And the lottery commission, they're like, yeah, sure, buddy. And they start asking him questions about the day he bought the ticket. Like, what clothing were you wearing that day? Because they're skeptical and they're trying to pick his story apart. And of course, guy from Canada describes some clothing, but that description doesn't match the surveillance footage the lottery commission has of the man buying the ticket. So the commission is like, nah, bro, you're not the winner. Stay in Canada. So then Robert has to try something different, and he has a couple of lawyers come forward to claim the prize. And when these lawyers go to the lottery commission, they're like, we're here on behalf of our client, and our client wants to remain anonymous.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the winning ticket, but we don't have the person nor all of the background information about this winning ticket.
And again, the lottery commission gets very suspicious, especially because in Iowa, the identity of any given lottery winner is always made public. So the lottery commission is like, nah, and they don't pay out the winnings.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hot Lotto jackpot claim has been withdrawn.
I mean, they know something shady's going on. So instead, they start looking into this anonymous winner who allegedly sent his lawyers, and eventually they ask the police to get involved. So then police get involved, and even they are having a hard time figuring this out. But they go and they check out the surveillance footage from the convenience store where the winning lottery ticket was bought. Now, obviously, from this footage, you can see a man in a black hoodie, but you can't identify who that is. Like, the quality is just trash. So police, they go and they release this footage to the public, and they ask the public to help them identify the guy who bought the winning lottery ticket. So then, finally, after investigating this for nearly 4 years, kaboom, police get a tip. And it's someone telling them that the person in the video is a guy they know named Eddie. And it's presumed that whoever tipped the police off were some of Eddie's co-workers. And you can't really see him in the surveillance footage, but they could tell it was him by his voice. So then eventually, bam, police arrest Eddie. Here's his mugshot. And then, bam, they arrest his Bigfoot-hunting ass brother Tommy too. Here's his mugshot. And also, bam, they arrest Robert. Here's his mugshot. And it's estimated that over 10 years, Eddie and these other guys tried to scam $24 million in lottery winnings, making this the biggest lottery scam in U.S. history. So anyway, Tommy gets 75 days in prison. Robert gets 6 months of home confinement because he testified against the others, while Eddie, the mastermind, he gets 25 years in prison. Although ultimately, Eddie only ended up serving 5 years, and now he's out on parole. Sounds like it was worth it. His name is Eddie. He lives in Iowa. He's a computer programmer.
All right, I hope y'all caught that. Eddie tipped it. I don't know if you heard of him before, but he did rig the lottery. And so that's why I say OPPB, be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget, play responsibly. 1 minute. Hey, Cuz, go ahead. No problem. What's going on, baby boy? Okay. Wow.
And he also works for the Multi-State Lottery Association. And he's going to use this position there to enact this wild scheme. See, Eddie is actually the director of security at the Multi-State Lottery Association. And part of his job involves designing the software that randomly picks the winning numbers for these lotteries. And so Eddie's been working in this job for like 2 years. And then one day, everything changes. Because he's at work and he's chatting with a coworker, and the coworker is joking around, and he asks Eddie if he
All right, family. All right. As usual, when you recording, life be life, and people decides to call you. I had a little bit of mercy going on, so I had to answer that phone. But yeah, that's Eddie Tipton, and he rigged the lottery. And then one of my devices don't seem like it's working right, but that's okay. We're gonna get through it. That's what technology is all about: overcoming challenges, just like in real life. Okay, but he rigged the lottery, and I kind of went back and studied what he did, and kind of understood my system a little better, tweaked my system. But the numbers are random. He was a programmer, so he had to work with all 1,000 numbers. With us using just the grids, the date sums, the root sums, the tic tac toes, and um, the multiple different rundowns, they only show you a small fraction of really involved with winning. You have to actually work with all 1,000 numbers. That's why I put a system together where you can track on PICK-3 on paper. So at a glance, you know what's going on with all 1,000 numbers and make it easier for you to get into the winner circle. Okay? Um, so basically, I'm set up here for questions and answers on the PICK-3 at a glance strategy. As you know, I think this is my third year. I got over 2,000 videos on this channel that you can study the PICK-3 at a glance strategy and track your own numbers for your own state. This works for all individuals on their own state. I put a system together where everybody can be on the same page at the same time, answering pretty much direct questions on the PICK-3 at a glance. Everybody with the tic-tac-toes, the date sums, the grids, the root sums, the flips and mirror strategies. Everybody got their own way of strategizing to winning. But with PICK-3 at a glance, there's only one strategy, and that's tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. And pretty much the proof is in the pudding with me. I show my winnings, how I win. I call the numbers for Illinois, and I win in Illinois. I don't put up numbers for all these different states and all that stuff because I think that's to no avail. Because even if you do win, how do you know how you won? And that was my problem. I didn't know how I won when I did win because I had nothing available that would show me what was going on with those 1,000 numbers. And the reason that made me find my own method is I had got myself in a hole and didn't know how to stop digging. Lost my home, my car, almost my wife, and my job. But what I did, I didn't give up on myself. I figured I could put something together that I could learn how to better be a better winner and be more disciplined of a winner. And that's the key. You're going to have to be a disciplined player. Uh, Not trying to figure out what numbers coming the next day. There's nothing out there going to tell you what numbers are coming in the next day. If you plan numbers for midday and evening, you're burning up a lot of money because the numbers run different midday and evening, and the numbers are random. But the PICK-3 at a glance strategy, if you're tracking midday, you have to track midday. If you're tracking evening, you have to track evening. That's separate. One big key, if somebody's telling you to play any numbers they give you, you got to play them midday and evening. I don't think they really know what they're doing or what they're talking about because you shouldn't have to play midday and evening. If I give you a number to play midday, it's going to be strictly for midday. If I give you numbers to play for evening, it'll be strictly evening to play them. Now the numbers are random. There's only 1,000 of them. If I give it to you to play midday and it comes evening, that just happens. If I give it to you for evening and it comes midday, that just happens. But the numbers are different. how they're falling. And that's what you have to look at. The big picture is to know how the numbers are running, how they're falling. And that's what you have to know. And you won't know that with the grid system and the date sum system, the tic-tac-toe system, and multiple different rundowns and strategies out there, because they don't show you the whole picture. And you have to have the whole picture to win and get in the winner's circle. Okay. So the number that came in Illinois evening draw, like I say, I'll be answering any questions that come, was 492 yesterday evening draw. And people want to know, okay, how often? I win about 3 to 4 times out of a month. That's on average, because you're only going to get a third of those 1,000 numbers. But it's not how often I am, it's how I play the game, how I know when to place my bet and how to place my bet to be a bigger and better winner. Okay? So here we go with the how to use the PICK-3 at a glance strategy. Make sure. 492 came in. Only rundown that you ever have to use is going to be the 111 rundown. That's the only rundown you'd have to use. All right? And if you're not familiar with the 111 rundown, all you're doing is adding 1 to the winning number that came in. Okay? Right here. And you're going to add straight down. And it's going to be 1 to 4 is 5, 1 to 5 is 6, 1 to 6 is 7, 1 to 7 is 8, 1 to 8 is 9, 1 to 9 is 10. But in lottery math, you only work with single numbers, so you don't use the 1, you just use the 0, and you count straight down. You count 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same number at the bottom. You get at the bottom, you got it at the top, you add it correctly. It's pretty simple. You're just adding 1 to the number and count straight down. Here again, you're going to add 1 to the 9. You're going to get to 0 because it's going to be 10, and you're just counting straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Same here. You're going to count straight down. You add 1 to the 2. You got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, and 2. Okay? This is the winning number. Okay? That came in for the day. Yesterday. Evening draw. Okay? Alrighty, so what we're looking for is where that winning number is going to be on the 22 numbers and 22 columns that I told you about. And here's the PICK-3 at a glance workout sheet right here. A little bent up there. Let me straighten it out. Simple sheet, but powerful. Everything you're going to need to know is going to be right here. These are the 22 numbers. I call them, that I came up with, to be able to track 720 of those 1,000 numbers at a glance. Right here is the 12 numbers. And these what I call are base numbers. And when the winning number come in, one of these base numbers will always be in the rundown in one of their uh, combination forms. Because single numbers can come 6 different ways. Single numbers are numbers like 1, 2, 3. None of the numbers are alike. Okay? And you might not be able to see these numbers on top here. I don't know if you can, but I'm going to write them down so you can see them. Here they are. It's, the first column is 012, 013, 014, 015, 016, 017, 018, 024, 025, 026, 027. Then the final number 037. See, that's 12 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those are only numbers for the singles you're going to have to memorize. And you will. After you do it a couple times, you just like I wrote them down from memory, you'll be able to know them. And what you're looking for is under what line or column will the winning number that came in is 492, right? So when you do the rundown, you're going to look for the base number. These are the base numbers I just wrote down. Okay? These numbers would be the workout numbers right here. Now, you see all these base numbers got zeros in them right here. So it's going to be easy for you to find what column is you're going to only look at the numbers with zeros in it. See there? That's 503. You can see that's not one of the base numbers. Then you got 058. That's not one of the base numbers, right? But here it is right here. 270. But it shows as 027. So that's the column you're going to go to, 027, to find the winning number that came in is the 492. Oops, let me move this over. Let me move over here. Got to make sure you all are seeing what I'm looking at. One of my phones is not working right because if you're making comments, I can't see it. So I'm going to have to figure out something here. But I can keep up with seeing what you all can see and not see. Okay, that's it, yeah. And I'll come in on the chat on the end when I get through. So, see, it's 027, but it shows us 270 because everything here is in numerical order. This here won't be in numerical order because, see, all these numbers can come 6 different ways. See, this 492, it can come as 492. It can come as 429. It can come as 249. It can come as 294. And it can come as 924. And they come as 942. See, that's all these are different numbers of the 1,000 numbers. That's why they call them a combination. So any way that this number comes in, if you put it on there as a combination or a box number, if it come in any of these 6 ways, you'll win. That's why most people play boxed, because they can cover more numbers rather than just one number. If you just play it straight, it got to come that way. But if you play it box, any way of the possible common ways that it can come, you'll win. So you go to this column here, this 027, that's in numerical order, which is, put it right here for you. Here's the 027. You go down to 027 and you're going to find the 492, but it's going to show as 249 because it's in a numerical manner, numerical order. Okay? You just mark it off, bam, you're done. So what you're doing here with this sheet is a process of elimination. This is a monthly sheet, and every month you're going to have a new one of these sheets. You're going to start over. That way, as you mark and eliminating the numbers, you'll know what number is due and what column is due off of these here. You'll always know as you, it's like playing a piano, but you're using your own numbers for your own state to see how the numbers are falling on the columns and what columns are hitting and what columns are not hitting. Now, when I started this sheet, when I put this all together, longhand, because I didn't have no, in 30 years, I didn't have no laptops and computers, and I couldn't even type. So, I had none of that stuff. I did it all with pencil and paper. I went back and for all the way back to January. I think I kind of put this sheet together around the end of the year, around December. I went all the way back to January and eliminated all the numbers that have fallen for January, from January to December, to see what numbers were left to play off the columns, working with the law average. And those were my numbers that I carried over into the next year to start playing. But really what I did when I started this sheet, I went back 2 years. But I realized you don't have to go back 2 years to catch up or eliminate the numbers on these sheets. You can only go back 1 year. It's best to go back 1 year. Some people say you can go back 6 months. But I had the best results when I first started. I eliminated all the numbers on this monthly sheet, took this one monthly sheet and eliminated all the singles and eliminated all of the doubles. And this is the double sheet. Doubles are pick-3 numbers with 2 like numbers in it, like 001. And I eliminated it. And then that let me know what numbers hadn't failed for the whole year. And them the numbers I took over and started looking at playing. I built a bucket list off of this list of numbers to look at to start playing on how they was coming when I was tracking the numbers. Okay? Now, so this is an important sheet here. And then I added 3 more other strategies. So what you do here, right here, so once you found that winning number and marked it off your sheet right here on column 27, you're done. See how easy that is? Simple. At a glance, as you're going through, all you ever have to do is glance your sheet to know what those 1,000 numbers are doing. Then I came up here, came with strategy number 2. How to track the pairs. Okay? By tracking the single pairs, that's 2,710 pairs of those 1,000 numbers that I put in this triangle where you could understand and always know what pairs fell for the month and what pairs didn't fall for the whole month. So when you go and start a new month, you ain't guessing what pairs have failed off of rundowns and different methods. You know what pairs haven't failed. And you use that to your advantage to win. Okay, I got a bigger sheet. I'm gonna show you a bigger board so you can see the numbers better. Let's see what we got here. So you can see the numbers better. This is strategy number 2. right here. You'll be able to see it. Strategy number 2 are the pairs. So you want to know what pairs have fallen off the winning number that came in. You got 3 separate numbers, so you're going to have 3 separate pairs to mark off. Three separate numbers, 3 separate pairs. And it was the 492. Right? So you're going to have the 24 to mark off. You're going to have the 29 to mark off. And the 49. Bam, you're done. And by the end of the month, you'll know exactly what pairs didn't play. You'll know what doubles didn't play, and you'll know what single pair numbers didn't play. So at the end of the month, you'll be able to highlight what single pairs didn't play, so you won't keep playing them same pairs over that did play that won't show up. Or if they do show up, you'll know why they showed up and that they did show up already. That's how you can build a strategy and a skill set. See it? Bam, you're done. Reason you want to know pairs and what pairs didn't play, you can kind of wheel pairs down. Let me show you something here. You can wheel pairs down. Say you come out and you did this strategy number 2, and you know one pair didn't fall for 3 months, 4 months. A single pair can take 4 months and not hit, and that's what you want to know. You have a process of elimination. You want to play the numbers that haven't fallen. Let's say it's 25 didn't fall for 3 months, and you know it. You wheel it down. Let's say you wheel it. I'll call this wheeling in your state. And if you can't play front pair and back pair, it's still imperative that you know what front pairs and back pairs have played to be a bigger, better winner and get in the winner's circle. If you can't play front pair, back pairs, you still need to know which ones have fallen and which ones hasn't, so you can see what's going on, so you can see the big picture. Now, you go here, you're going to wheel down, you go 250, 251, 252, 253, 254, 255, 256, 257, 258, 259. So anything with a 25 come in, if you bet on it, you automatically win whatever the dollar amount is in your state. Here in Illinois, on the front pair, what is it? I know it's $25, I believe. Yeah, $25, I believe, yeah. For a front pair, back pair. If I win, say by that time, I already know what number out of that 2-5 pair is the best number to play and how to play it. So if say this is the best number I know, that I know 251 is the best number to play it and play it probably this way. And I got it on my bucket list. What I'm going to do, if this 251 don't come in, but one of the other 25s come in, then I know where to load my money up on. I'm going to load it up on this 251 because I done tracked it and know that it's my number that I'm going to be playing. But I done covered everything else off this 25. That's how that's how we do to get in the winner's circle. We know what's going on with these numbers. We're not guessing what's going on with them. And by the time you get to this point, you know which one of the numbers are the best ones out of these to play, if even if it don't come in. And you put your money on this one and load up on this one because you know it has a more likelihood to come in. And the way you got it lined up. That's why it's important that you always know what pairs haven't played. And the end of the month, and the ones that haven't played, you carry them over to the next month. You highlight them, underline them. I underline the ones that haven't failed. Say at the end of May here, whatever numbers haven't played, I underline them like that. Then I know at a glance what numbers haven't played, and possibly I can wheel down actual numbers and win like that. Everything's in numerical order. You got everything in numerical order. Like the singles here, you'll know what columns to go to because everything's going to be in numerical order. One of these base numbers will always be in the rundown. Like that. Okay. Might still need these here. Then I have strategy number 3. And it's a simple strategy also. That's the number positioning. You want to know what position the number come in. 492. Right? You take that 492 and you're going to mark off the 4 on the front. Let me move this off here. I don't want to confuse nobody. What else? Let me move that. You're going to mark off the 4 on the front, the 9 in the middle, so you know that the 9 fell in the middle for the month, and the 2 on the end, so you know the 2 fell on the end for the month. So any number that you don't mark off for the month and the positions, you're going to highlight them over into the next month so you know what's left. I already know that in Illinois, I think right now, I'm pretty sure, for the last month, the 0 and the 4 hadn't fell in the middle yet. And I don't think it fell this month either yet for a whole month. See how I'm saying? You see what these numbers are doing. Everything else is guesswork, what the numbers are doing. This way you know what the numbers are doing. So I already know that the 4 and the 9 fell in the position. It would be more numbers marked off, but I'm not doing that right now. I just wanted to get you acclimated to what's going on with a simple strategy board with not a whole lot of stuff marked off. I did some videos that details all that. I did all of April last month on 3 separate videos explaining how, for the whole month, how to use it. But right here, we're just going to go through this. Now, so now you know what numbers are hot and cold and what position. You know what numbers are hot and cold and what position now they falling and what haven't failed. And working with the law average, you'll know what failed. So say this 492. Say I was playing this 492 and I've marked off everything and I realized that this 492, I realized that the 9 right here didn't fall on the front. Say the 9 didn't hit for this month. Definitely, I'm going to play this 492 as 942 and 924 because the likelihood of it coming out that next month and the number didn't come out is like this, because if you're not tracking, you would miss that. You would miss being able to play it that way and win. Usually when I see something like this, I play this, my number I'm carrying every day, or my straight box, and then I play these 50 straight, 50 cents straight. And that's how I get them. like that. And then if it come in this way, I don't fall off of it. I'll go back and load up on this 492 because I have even a better reason why I'm playing it like this also. You see what I'm saying? That's how you build a strategy and a skill set. You're gonna put the 9 on the front because it hasn't failed, didn't fall for the whole month. But this your daily number that you're playing. Or if it hadn't failed or hadn't failed on the back, then you would play it as 249 or 429. See what I'm saying? See, that's how you build a strategy skill set. You can't see that with the grids, the root sums, the date sums, and all that, because you're trying to find a number that you have no idea what's going on with none of the numbers when you're just doing this. You have to do something like this to understand anything that's going on with any of this. You won't, how you going to put something together? How you know? If you don't know what's going on with the actual 1,000 numbers. You won't know. You can't know. That's how I was losing badly. Then, because I didn't know nothing. Even when I won, I didn't know how I won and why I won. But now you know how and why. And when you lose, you know how you lost and why you lost, because you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. Now, here's strategy number 4, front pair, back pair. The 492 right here, front pair, back pair. Let me get this here. You got the front pair. Here's the number that came in. The front pair of this 492 is the 4 and the 9. The back pair of this 492 is the 9 and the 2. Simple as that. Front pair is the 4 and the 9. The back pair is the 9 and the 2. Simple. And you always want to know what's going on with the front pair and the back pairs that haven't failed. Now, this here is a yearly sheet. So what you're doing here with this yearly sheet now is seeing through the year what front pairs have failed and back pairs have failed and have not failed. Process of elimination. Okay? So the top numbers and the bottom numbers are the same. Exact same numbers. Same pairs, rather. So you would mark off on the top, you mark off the 4, 9. And on the back of the number, you mark off the 9, 2. That way you know for the year that front and back has fallen. So any numbers for the whole year that I know front and back ain't fail off of, I'll carry over to 2026 for this sheet. Now you could just, go back to January or a year back or 6 months back, but I would go back a year on this and eliminate all the pairs that have failed front and back. And then any of the pairs and that front and back haven't failed, that'd be part of my bucket list of numbers to play on the front and the back. So what if I realize right now? Well, I did realize in Illinois, and that's that the 8-8 hadn't failed at all on the front in this position. At all for the whole year. See, that's what you got to know. You can't be guessing what's going on with the number. You got to know if it didn't fall for a year or 2 years. And it's going to be easy to go back and glance if you do just one single sheet here. 8-8 didn't fall on the front at all for the whole year. And then the 8-8 didn't fall on the back but once for the whole year in January. And it came 2-8-8. So in November and December, I picked up the 8-8 and started winning and put it part of my bucket list. You adding the numbers that haven't played into your bucket. Did real well with it. And I put up, I showed the tickets where I won. On Illinois, Illinois sends me an email saying I won and what date and what numbers. Okay, because I play online. I don't have the paper to show, but I got the emails to show. So that's what you're looking at. And 8-8 been killing it all this month. It's probably fell about 4 times already, or 5 times within the 4 months. See what I'm saying? Now it's playing the law average is catching up with itself. When the numbers with the law average catch up, that's how you catch them. Because they have to play. They have to rotate out. And I was playing triple eights, but I knew triple eights more than likely wasn't coming, and probably still playing a little bit. Triple eights hadn't played because might not be a good number to play, but it, with it not falling on the front and the back, and all that time, eights was always, that's how I play. Eights is my number. Triple eights would be my number. And but I already knew last year in evening draw, the 5, 6, 7, and 9s had already failed. So that had wiped out the law average for triples for the whole year in 2024. Because you're only going to get 3 numbers out of 10 on average out of any 10 numbers that you play for a whole year. That's how the law average works. And you got to know how to work it with the law average. But you'll see that as you're tracking. You'll automatically see it. That on 10 numbers, if you play them exact for the whole year on average, out of average of maybe 10 years, you're going to only get 3 of those 10 numbers every year. You're going to get a different set of 3 every year. Now, you have your off years like anything else, but on average, that's what you're going to get this season. Like here. Any of these, say I played just one column every day for the whole year, I might get 3 exact for the whole year. And then next year you'll get 3. And then next year you'll get 3 or maybe 4. But that's for the whole year. You can't get but 3 pretty much because you're only going to get a third of those 1,000 numbers. That's what you have to understand. Okay. Okay. Now, we covered that's strategy number 4. This sheet here is strategy number 4. And it's been a powerful strategy for me. Reason why I use this method, I don't play triples to the end of the year. If no triple has failed for the whole year, that's when I'll know if, say, this 00 ain't failed front and the 00 ain't failed on the back, 000 is going to be my number to play for that following year. But I really don't play triples unless I see a condition to play the triples. Like I say, the 00s ain't failed on the front, 00s on the back, and no triple didn't fail because I know now the average is in my favor. Because I know out of the average of a whole year, 3 triples on average will probably fall. That's how you build your conditions. You work off the conditions of the numbers. Because here, all these numbers here, only 10, that's what you're going to get. Now, I don't use flips because you use the flips and all the tic-tac-toe, date, sum, grids, and all these different strategies. I don't know how the flip thing work because it don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me how to use it. And like I said, if you're not tracking all the 1,000 numbers anyway, you playing a loser's game. You playing a loser's game. right back. I'm going to show you why I don't use flips. But I definitely use, I don't call them mirrors, but I use the opposite numbers. Opposite numbers. I call mine opposite numbers because people be saying mirrors when they mean flips, and say flips when they mean mirrors, and they had me all confused. I had to sit down and really study and work things out for myself to make sense, where I could explain it to everybody else and help everybody get into the winner's circle. Like right here. That sensibly, with knowledge and understanding. knowledge and understanding, not just, I think, what they might call knowledge. You got two major systems that people talk about. They talk about flips and they talk about mirrors. I guess that's right. That's what they use. Well, you should have flipped the number, or you should have mirrored the number. That's how you would have won. But you never know how to flip and mirror the number, and why you would have flipped and mirrored the number. After the fact, you see something after the fact, you don't want to see it after the fact. You want to see before the fact to get in the winner circle. So let's talk about this mirrors. Let's do this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you got, wait a minute, did I do that right? Nope, I didn't. Mark that off, that 5 off. You're going to add +5 to these top numbers to get the bottom numbers. You're going to have 5 to 0, you get 5. 5 to 1, you get 6. 5 to 2, you get 7. 5 to 3, you get 8. 5 to 4, you get 9. Okay? Now, this okay. You get 9. Now, I might take this off because it's good enough. You get 9. Now, what you're going to do here, imagine that those 1,000 numbers are cut in half, and the top part is 000, and the back part, and they go from 00 to 499, and the bottom is 500 to 999. Okay? 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0, 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2, 3 opposite 8, 8 opposite 3, 4 opposite 9, 9 opposite 4. Okay? So if you play 0, 1, 2, and the lottery played 5, 6, 7, they played the exact opposite number of what you was playing, or vice versa. If you played 5, 6, 7, and the lottery played 0, 1, 2, they just played the exact. You can understand that. That makes sense. That holds true. Because you got your top and you got your bottom. If you played 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, and the lottery played 2, 3, 4, you can see that they played the top number. That makes sense. Exact top and bottom. It holds true. If you played 1, 1, 2, and the lottery played 6, 6, 7, exact opposite of each other, top and bottom. A 1 is a 6 is a 1. And a 2 is a 7, 7 is a 2. 1, 1, 2, 6, 6, 7. Holds true all the way through. True and blue all the way through. True and blue. Now, if you play triple zeros and the lottery played triple fives, vice versa, the zeros are 5, 5, 0. See? Makes sense. But now we're going to go to these flips they talk about. This is the mirrors. These are the mirrors. And this here, we're going to talk about the flips. You add +3 to the single numbers. So we're gonna go, let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, yeah, 3 to 0, you get 3. 3 to 1, you get 4. 3 to 2, you get 5. 3 to 3, you get 6. 3 to 4, you get 7. 3 to 5, you get 8. 3 to 5, you get 8. 3 to 6, you get 9. 3 to 7, you get 0. 3 to 8, well, it's going to get 12, but then you don't use but one number. You use the number, wait a minute. You're going to get 11. Yeah, you get 11. Yeah, 3 to 8, you get 11. You don't use but one number, so you're going to use the one on the right-hand side. And 3 to 9, you get 12, which is a 2. You ain't going to use both of them. You just use the 2. Now, here it's going to tell me you got the high and low number, but it don't even out. So you say 0, 1. It's a lot of figuring you have to do. This here is not a lot of figuring up here. You can see that makes sense. But here, the 0, 1, 2, it says 3, 4, 5. So now 0, 1, 2 means a totally different thing than the 5, 6, 7. Totally different thing. And you're supposed to know what that means, how to figure that out, and why it's that way. Now, 0, 1, 2 is 3, 4, 5 now. But you were supposed to see on the workout that number was supposed to be, this 2 was supposed to be a 5. Or the 0 was supposed to be a 3. Or 3 was supposed to be a 0. That's too much playing. But see, another reason I don't care for it, like here, all these numbers are different. But here, you got right here, the 1 and the 4, a 1 is a 4, and a 4 is a 1. But down here on the same scale, you got 9, the 8 is a 1, and 1 is an 8. That's too much playing. This to me don't hold true. That's why I exit out. This holds very true. Because it's doing what it's supposed to do. I can see 1, 2 equaling 5, 6, 7. Or 7, 8, 9 equals 2, 3, 4. That makes sense. That I could always remember that. If I'm looking at this mirror chart. I wouldn't be able to remember. Why would I want a 4 equal 1 and 1 equal 4? And then the same number be 8 equal 1 and 1 equal 8. So nobody, I don't think, can explain this and make it make sense. They might act like it makes sense to me, but I don't know how they would explain it to make it make sense where you would win, especially after they did a rundown. I really don't. For us to get in the winner circle, we're gonna have to get real. I want everybody to get in there. I want everybody, but we got to be real to get in there. We got to be real. Then they'll do a rundown in here, and if they'll make one of these numbers to match what the winning number was that came in. If you can change any of these numbers, you'll always be able to find the winning number 99.9% of the time if you can flip and mirror anything down here. But you don't have to do that with this system because you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. And why you will always find the winning number in this rundown is because all these numbers are opposite of each other. Anytime you do the 1-1 rundown is logical, and all these numbers are opposite of each other number of these 1,000 numbers. You see this 4 and 9 2? The opposite of it and the mirror. Let's look at the mirror again. Let me put the mirror where you can see it. Let me find a spot up So, okay, I'm going to put it up here. 0, 1, or you can 2, 3, 4. Then you got your 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Simple. Because all you're going 4, 5, 6, 7. That's easy to remember. Now, see this 492? The opposite is 947. See, there it is right there. You see this 503? The opposite is 058. There it is right here. 058. You see this 614? The opposite is 169. There it is right. Don't that make sense? See this 725? The opposite is 270. There it is right there. You see this 836? The opposite is 381. There it is right there. And then you just got the winning number to repeat. All at a glance. Okay? Now, and what makes that powerful, when you go to tracking these numbers here, on the picture at a glance strategy, it holds true in all the columns. Each one of these columns got their number and the opposite. And working with the law average and you narrowing the numbers down, when you see a column ain't hit in 3 months, you can analyze that column where it makes sense. And if you see that, let's say this column 8 to 024, if you see that in 3 months with your tracking, you didn't pretty much track, and you see that this column ain't hit for 3 months after you marked off some numbers, if you see this 024 ain't hit, and the opposite is the 579 hasn't hit, you definitely want to play those two numbers along with playing the whole column. And them the only 10 you have to worry about. You don't have to flip no number. You don't have to do no tic-tac-toe. You don't have to look for no pattern. You don't have to look for none of that. Because you know nothing fell off here in 90 days or 120 days. I start looking for columns that ain't hit for 60 days. I start saying, if it don't hit in 60 days, then I got it on under my radar. Don't hit for 90 days, I'm good. And then when you get into that 4th month, I'm hot on it. Because any of these columns can take 3 to 4 months and not hit at any time. But that's good because you're aware of it. You're aware of that bucket list of numbers right here that ain't hit. You're aware of it. You ain't guessing. Okay? It's a process of elimination, working with the law average. Study more than you play. Don't burn your money up. The numbers for your state will line up. I can't tell you that what I'm doing for this state, you can do for your state at the same time. For the simple fact, your numbers going to run different than my numbers. The strategy is to work with the law average and see what the numbers are doing. Work for the conditioning. When the right conditions show up, that's when you strike. Like I said, if you see the 025 and the 570 ain't hit, that's a condition in which you would play those numbers. Or if you see that the 025 and the 136 and the opposite ain't played, wait a minute, where am I? Where am I? I said 025 and the 136 and the 570 and this op 681, them 4 ain't hit. That's a condition in which you would play those 4 together. Or those 2. Or if you see a column ain't hit in itself in 4 months, that's a condition. You would play the whole column, not try to figure out a rundown tic-tac-toe to play all the numbers. I'm laughing, y'all. It's kind of scary to me how simple this is to me anyway. Y'all might not see it as simple as I do. And I can understand that some folks are very, very new. But this is simple, straight math. 1 + 1 is going to make 2 all day long with me on this. That's why I can explain it so simply. And I talk to many people and I open their eyes up because they miss some things, but when they talk to me personally, they say, "Oh, now I see," because they've been trying to figure it out by themselves, and they just get a wall they just can't get over. But when I tell them, then it opens their eyes because it's easy to explain. But all the columns work like that on all the singles and all the triangle with the pairs. You see here, if you see last year, Illinois, this 4-4 and 9-9 didn't hit for 4 months. 3 months. That's one of the conditionings that I knew, okay, it's time for me to pick up 4-4-9-9. And I hit the 0-4-4 and the triple nines when they came out. Because the opposite pairs, but the opposite numbers each other. The 4-4 and the 9-9 is opposite. A 4 is a 9, a 9 is a 4. Same way with the double zeros, they opposite. The double zeros is opposite. The double zeros opposite is 5-5. The 1-1 opposite is 6-6. The 2-2 opposite is 7-7. The 3-3 the opposite is 8-8. And then again, the 4-4 the opposite is 9-9. That's what I'm looking for. The actual numbers and their opposites, not all this other gobbledygook that we come on with to try to hit. Gobbledygook. This makes sense. You can see what's going on with the numbers. This ain't gobbledygook. If you're tracking the actual 1,000 numbers and the pairs and the single digits and the front pairs and back pairs, it's straightforward. I hate to say it's gobbledygook, but if you don't understand it, it can't be nothing else. Hey, I'm telling y'all, if you can flip and mirror any number, you can make them numbers what you want them to be. Because you can find them easily. The thing ain't to find the numbers after they fall. You want to know what's coming up before they fall. You want to know that a 4-4 and a 9-9 ain't played for 90 days or 120 days. Then you play. You don't want to just play the 4-4 because you didn't change the number from a flip to a mirror or a mirror to a flip. Don't make sense. I'm here to get us in the winner's circle, y'all. That's the only reason I'm here. And you all have to do it for your own state. Not going everywhere, getting these numbers and playing them and hoping they come in. And then when they come in, you had no idea why you won. And worse even yet, you had no idea why you lost. The numbers run random, true enough. But you can track them and follow them and see them what they're doing. Yeah, they run random. Cool. But if I know that a 4-4 and a 9-9 ain't hit in 120 days, if they ain't cheating, then something got to hit with a 4-4 and a 9-9 in it. Got to. If they cheat now, anything's possible now. Because any of these numbers here coming exact, I got a number in Missouri ain't hit in 15 years. Like say 1, 2, 3 ain't hit in 15 years. I ain't saying that's the number. Well, I think the numbers is 574 and 192. I don't know if they hit yet. I know they hadn't hit when I left Missouri and came to Illinois. I hit the 160 because every time I went to Missouri, I played that 160 for 15 days. Well, for how long as I could play it. $1 straight, $2 straight. I would just play it that way. And I hit it. It happened to come in. But I know I hadn't showed up 15 years. So I said, hey, that's the only number I'm going to play when I go to Missouri. And evening, it wasn't midday. I didn't play it midday and evening because I knew which one it was that I hadn't played at. I hit triple nines in Missouri where nines hadn't failed midday or evening for 9 years. That's what made it easy for me to remember and to hit it. Triple nines hadn't failed midday or evening for 9 years. That's what I'm talking about. This is stuff you got to learn to know, not guess. But I had data that I could go back and track. So I went back and I got a laptop that I went back and put all the data in physically myself for 15 years. I did. That I could go back and just punch it into my tablet and know what number played or didn't play. This is how serious I is about PICK-3. For 15 years, I punched in data of 15 years into my tablet. And I can go right now and tell you what number played in 15 years or didn't play. I can tell you what front pair and back player number ain't played in 15 years. I can tell you whatever it is. And I've been doing that same thing for Illinois. Last year I did the same thing, put all that data into my computer. But you don't have to do that if you got these sheets, because you'll be able to see it right here off the sheet for a year. You ain't got to go back 15 years like I did. But yeah, all these numbers, all if you see this 12 and this opposite, the 67, ain't played for 3 months on this diagonal strategy number 2, this 12 and 67 pairs, what you gonna play? You ain't gonna be trying to play all these pairs and figuring out what pair might come and how to get the pair. You're looking at it right here. All these pairs have their opposite, except with where was I at? Where were we at here? I'm gonna show you what numbers don't have opposites. The 05, you won't find an opposite pair. The 16, you won't find an opposite pair because they opposite of each other. The 17, you won't find an opposite pair because they opposite of each other. The 38, you won't find an opposite pair because they opposite of each other. And the 49. But everything else has its opposite pair on this triangle. This opposite pair of this 12 is 67. A 1 is a 6, and 6 is a 1, a 2 is a 7, 7 is a 2. So if you see any pair and its opposite ain't played, them going to be your pairs you're looking at playing that you know ain't played in 60 to 90 days. It's easy. This is how you build your strategy. This is what you build a strategy off of, the actual numbers to winning. If you see any of them, if you see this 13 and this 68 pair ain't failed in a whole month or 2 months, then what you going to pick up? Because very seldom you're going to find that a number in this opposite pair didn't fall on this triangle as you track it. You'll be able to see it, not guess it. You'll be able to see it and not guess it. Okay, y'all. Let's see if we can get this question and answer thing going. I hope everything's cool. Let's see. Yeah. Be able to see it and not guess it. So let's stop guessing. Let's get this show on the road. All right. Hey, Lance Stone. Hey, Rena. Hello. Anybody else here? Oh, let me see what's going on here. Okay. So if anybody got any questions? Because we gonna get in this winner circle, y'all. That's what I'm focused on. Getting everybody in the winner circle. So anybody got any questions? Let's go with the chat. Let's see what we got here. Dun, 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 dun. I'm waiting for YouTube probably to set up an audience. If nobody's got, and they can wait, you can wait with me, but I'm gonna be here for a minute anyway. Because it takes a while for an audience to show up, and I didn't. Let's see.
It's just me.
Just you left me?
Just for temporarily. Mom.
No problem. All right. Okay, where's my Okay. Where's the phone at? Phone. Oh, here it is. Well, I let everybody listen to what the Eddie Tipton story, and to the chat comes up. I don't know what's going on with my other phone because it's not even downloading information. Let's see. I don't know why it's not showing the chat.
Lottery and make myself rich. And that is exactly what he's gonna do. So Eddie, his name is Eddie. He lives in Iowa. He's a computer programmer, and he also works for the Multi-State Lottery Association. And he's gonna use this position there to enact this wild scheme. See, Eddie is actually the director of security at the Multi-State Lottery Association, and part of his job involves designing the software that randomly picks the winning numbers for these lotteries. And so Eddie's been working in this job for like 2 years, and then one day, everything changes. Because he's at work and he's chatting with a coworker, and the coworker is joking around, and he asks Eddie if he's put his own secret winning numbers into the software. And Eddie is like, say what now? And coworker's like, bro, you wrote the software so you can set the winning numbers. And Eddie's like, oh snap, that's right. I'm the one writing the software. I actually could rig this whole thing and win the lottery and make myself rich. And that is exactly what he's gonna do. So Eddie gets right to work, and he starts writing code on the Multi-State Lottery Association computer. And this code will basically help predict the winning numbers. Then, one night, he's working late in the office, and there's no one else around. So he gets some of those yellow sticky notes, and he starts writing down the different sets of possible winning numbers for this lottery that's about to happen all the way over in Colorado. Now, the jackpot for this lottery in Colorado is a big fat $4.8 million. So there's a lot on the line here. However, Eddie has a problem. He can't just roll over to Colorado and play the lottery himself. He's an employee of the Multi-State Lottery Association. It's against company policy for lottery employees to play the lottery. Plus, that would be very suspicious if a lottery employee won the jackpot. So then Eddie has to find someone to play it for him. And what does he do? Eddie recruits his brother, this guy, Tommy. And Tommy is a sheriff's deputy, of all things. But Tommy also just happens to be taking a trip to Colorado soon, because he's gonna look for, and I'm not making this up, Bigfoot. Yes, Tommy is going several states away to hunt for the legendary mythical creature. I guess he's just into that kind of stuff. So anyway, Eddie hits Tommy up, and he's like, hey, while you're out there in Colorado looking for Bigfoot, could you play a bunch of these lottery numbers I got? Because one of them is going to win. And Tommy, he's like, alright. Now, while Tommy's out there in Colorado, he doesn't actually find Bigfoot, womp womp, but he does buy up a bunch of lotto tickets. And sure enough, when the time comes and they draw the winning lottery numbers, boom, one of Tommy's tickets wins. However, he doesn't actually win $4.8 million, because some other people win too, so the winnings are split between him and some other random winners. Regardless, Tommy ends up getting a cash payout of nearly $570,000, and he goes and he splits it with Eddie. Not a bad payday. Oh, but Eddie's scam is not over yet. That was way too easy. So for the next 10 years, Eddie uses his magic software, and he gets the winning numbers, and he has another person, Tommy or whoever else he's scamming with at the time. He has that person go to other states and play their lottery and collect the winnings. And they win big. $22,000 in Kansas, $780,000 in Wisconsin, $900,000 in Oklahoma. Bro is raking it in. Until one day, Eddie makes a big mistake. Because he walks into a convenience store and he buys one of the winning tickets himself. And you can see him here. He's right there in the black hoodie, looking all kinds of shady. And also, this particular lottery he's playing, this ain't no regular lottery. This is the Hot Lotto, which has a massive jackpot of $16.5 million. So, of course, he buys the tickets and he picks the numbers, and the ones he picked end up being the winner. And bam, he wins the jackpot. But, again, there's a problem. He still can't collect it himself. He's got to go find someone else who can. Meanwhile, the lottery commission, they know someone won. They know someone bought the winning ticket. They just don't know who. So they're just waiting on whoever to come forward and claim this prize money. And they're like going on TV and they're like making announcements.
Well, it's been almost a month since we had announced that we had a hot lotto, $16.5 million hot lotto winner. The Iowa Lottery has been looking and asking for everyone to please check their tickets.
So Eddie, he's got to collect this money. So he hits up his friend in Texas, this guy, Robert. And Robert, he's been already helping him with this lotto scam. And Eddie asked Robert to help him figure out how to collect this $16.5 million jackpot he just won. So Robert hits up a guy in Canada that he knows, and he asks him to call into Iowa and claim the prize. So then, 10 months after the winning numbers were announced, this random guy from Canada calls into Iowa claiming he's got the winning lottery ticket. But he says that he's too sick to go there in person and that they'll just have to give him the winnings. And the lottery commission, they're like, yeah, sure, buddy. And they start asking him questions about the day he bought the ticket. Like, what clothing were you wearing that day? Because they're skeptical and they're trying to pick his story apart. And of course, guy from Canada describes some clothing, but that description doesn't match the surveillance footage the lottery commission has of the man buying the ticket. So the commission is like, nah, bro, you're not the winner. Stay in Canada. So then Robert has to try something different, and he has a couple of lawyers come forward to claim the prize. And when these lawyers go to the lottery commission, they're like, we're here on behalf of our client, and our client wants to remain anonymous.
Ladies
All right, Rena, I'm in the state of Missouri. I don't know if you're still on here or not, but that's where I'm at. But I'm going to upload this video. Hopefully you'll be able to get it. I'm in the state of, I'm in Illinois and Missouri. Right now I'm in Illinois.
and gentlemen, we have the winning ticket, but we don't have the person nor all of the background information about this winning ticket.
And again, the lottery commission gets very suspicious, especially because in Iowa, the identity of any given lottery winner is always made public. So the lottery commission is like, nah, and they don't pay out the winnings.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hot lotto jackpot claim has been withdrawn.
I mean, they know something shady's going on. So instead, they start looking into this anonymous winner who allegedly sent his lawyers. And eventually, they ask the police to get involved. So then police get involved. And even they are having a hard time figuring this out. But they go and they check out the surveillance footage from the convenience store where the winning lottery ticket was bought. Now, obviously, from this footage, you can see a man in a black hoodie, but you can't identify who that is. Like, the quality is just trash. So police, they go and they release this footage to the public, and they ask the public to help them identify the guy who bought the winning lottery ticket. So then, finally, after investigating this for nearly 4 years, kaboom, police get a tip. And it's someone telling them that the person in the video is a guy they know named Eddie. And it's presumed that whoever tipped the police off were some of Eddie's co-workers. And you can't really see him in the surveillance footage, but they could tell it was him by his voice. So then eventually, bam, police arrest Eddie. Here's his mugshot. And then, bam, they arrest his Bigfoot hunting ass brother Tommy too. Here's his mugshot. And also, bam, they arrest Robert. Here's his mugshot. And it's estimated that over 10 years, Eddie and these other guys tried to scam $24 million in lottery winnings, making this the biggest lottery scam in U.S. history. So anyway, Tommy gets 75 days in prison. Robert gets 6 months of home confinement because he testified against the others, while Eddie, the mastermind, he gets 25 years in prison. Although ultimately Eddie only ended up serving 5 years, and now he's out on parole. Sounds like it was worth it.
Yeah. With Eddie Tipton, they told him 25 years, but if he told them how he rigged the lottery, they would cut down his time, and they did. So is the lottery rigged, and can it be rigged? For sure, it can be rigged. Yeah, and the lottery can fix it where it's even harder that nobody could win with AI. And they tried to say that they made changes in the system, but that don't mean that they can't change it where it makes it harder and harder for you to win. That's why I say OPPB: be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget. Also, using this AI, it can program the system where it pays out the less money to everybody. And not only that, mess with your head psychologically, where it makes you spend more money trying to win and hit your numbers. And that's why you have to track all 1,000 numbers and see, for one, if they're working with the law average. And on average, you're going to know just about how these numbers should be hitting and winning. I can tell in Illinois now something different for sure. I am winning, but it's a little bit different. You're going to have to change up your strategy. But I can tell the numbers taking a lot longer to come out. I can tell the way they're doing the numbers is kind of like a psychological thing. But if you don't know what's going on with these numbers, you won't know what's going on with them if you're not tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. And PICK-3 is the only one that you can track on paper. It's the only one. If they that wild ball, I'm trying to think, if they added that wild ball, it did went from 1,000 numbers of tracking to possibly the 10,000 of the PICK-4, and then pretty much with me, I don't know with everybody else, it's going to be game over. And if they doing it in Illinois and Missouri and all the other states, is going to go with that wild ball to not have to pay out as much money. Because when you win with the wild ball, it pays less than the jackpot amount if you just hit the number straight. So you know they're gonna always work to try to put the things in their favor. In their favor. And that's why I say OPPB: be organized, be patient, be persistent, and stick with a budget, and play responsibly. So I'm on here to like I say, answer questions, and I'm waiting for YouTube to find me an audience, and I'll be here a while. So, I mean, if you don't have any questions or some other things anybody's on here and they want to do, uh, you know, uh, I would say go ahead and do it, because I'll be here a little while, because I want to see, I want YouTube to find me an audience on PICK-3, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm playing this Eddie Tipton thing that I found on how he and his brother, he rigged a lot because he worked for the Iowa State lot. But see, they ain't telling everything. Eddie had built a syndicate for over 10 years where he was giving people numbers to go in 5 different states and play the numbers that he gave them to win. He lived lavishly. Eddie lived, he probably got more, he probably a billionaire or better, because he built a syndicate, and they never did catch on to him until he made that one step up for almost, I think they hired him in 2000. They hired him in 2000. And 2 years after 2000, he had been stealing money. So you know he didn't tell them everything of how he was winning and how he won. But the stuff that I did find out about him, he had the programming. You had to program with all the numbers, so the program will work to pick the numbers that you won't pick. If you don't do all the numbers, the program won't be able to work. In my strategy, from what I see, so everybody else is trying to use a tic tac toe, a date sum, a grid, a flip, a mirror, and all those different numbers to win, and not looking at all 1,000 numbers. And like I say, pick three is the only one that I can track on paper. I don't do pick fours. I don't do scratchers. I don't do pick fives. And I do play the Powerball. And now I don't mess with the Mega Million since they didn't took it to $5 for a draw. I'll pass on that. But I play the Powerball and I just play one ticket. I just put my name in the hat every draw, and that's about it. But pick three, I can master it. I can play it, and I can master it because I do win. And you can see I show my winnings of the numbers that I say come out, and they come out.
His name is Eddie. He lives in Iowa. He's a computer programmer, and he also works for the Multi-State Lottery Association. And he's going to use this position there to enact
And
this wild scheme. See, Eddie is actually the director of security at the Multi-State Lottery Association, and part of his job involves designing the software that randomly picks the winning numbers for these lotteries. And so Eddie's been working in this job for like 2 years, and then one day, everything changes. Because he's at work and he's chatting with a coworker, and the coworker is joking around, and he asks Eddie if he's put his own secret winning numbers into the software. And Eddie is like, say what now? And coworker's like, bro, you wrote the software so you can set the winning numbers. And Eddie's like, oh snap, that's right. I'm the one writing the software. I actually could rig.
yeah, he coded the software. He coded the software. So yeah, they can rig the lottery for sure. And it's hard to find any information about this guy and how he did it to the lottery like that. Eddie Tipton. Mhm. You say meaning which one? Oh, I got you. I'm sorry. I just show. I don't know what's wrong with my system. I'm tracking Illinois. That's who I'm tracking. Is Illinois, not Missouri. Hey, Renee. Yeah, that's who I'm tracking. Because you can, one state is enough to win. Uh, I mean, it depends on, how much time you have and what you want to do. Um, I wouldn't do probably one draw. I don't try to do midday and evening draw. On the midday and evening draw, I'll go back like the end of it when this year ended. I went back and scanned through the midday to see what number hadn't played midday or evening. Like say 1, 2, 3, I know. Say let's say it didn't fall for midday or it didn't fall for evening at all. Then I would study that 1, 2, 3 to see what front pair, back pair didn't fall. If the front pair, back pair, how it fell. And then that would be the number. If I was going to play for midday or evening, I'll play both of those. I'll play that 1, 2, 3 for midday and evening. That would be just like I found out the triple nines in Missouri hadn't failed for 9 years, midday or evening. So quite naturally, 10 years coming on 10 years, I played triple nines and won on the nines, won real good. But that's what I look for. I look for a number that ain't played midday and evening. If I'm gonna play midday and evening, I don't look for a bunch of numbers to play for both midday and evening. If I do, I look for the one that I know ain't played midday or evening at all. Okay, that's how you do it. But if you want to track them individually, you can because either way, something may stand out for midday different from evening. But usually I try to play something that if it stands out, it's gonna stand out for midday and evening, like that. Had you heard of Eddie Tipton before? Anybody ever heard of Eddie Tipton before today? Because I don't think the media gave that as much publicity as it should have. Because I've been tracking these numbers and studying for a long time. Because I know Illinois, they had, I think it was their lotto, the lotto, when they had 8 people to play the same number. Oh, okay. They had 8 people to play the same number. I distinctly remember in Illinois to win. And I told my wife at the time, I said, babe, I ain't never seen no 8 people win no jackpot all at the same time. And come to find out, if I kept as I kept studying and following it, what happened is that uh, um, they all went to a restaurant because they started investigating all those 8 people, but they didn't. They lived in different places. But at that time, restaurants was giving numbers to play when you bought the fortune cookies, and those numbers was in the fortune cookies. And somehow all them people had the same frame of mind to play those numbers, and all of them won. So when something for you, something for you. So anything's possible with these numbers. But yeah, I was amazed at that. That was one of the instances. I know that was years ago. That, and I said I'd never seen that because I always watch the numbers and how many people win. And when I seen 8 people won, it was probably about that many. I say something was wrong. I thought they was playing with the numbers then, but it was just that those 8 people went to a Chinese restaurant and they all ate at the same restaurant, evidently, and had fortune cookies, and all of them played the same numbers. That was wild. But Eddie Tipton, he was an interesting guy to be able to pull that off, because he had what is it? He was over 5 other states along with Iowa. So he got away. He got away big, believe me. You don't hear a peep out of him, or I guess you wouldn't. I guess he's still living. I don't know. I ain't looked up nothing on him lately, no more than. showing everybody that the lottery can be rigged. And to play it for what it's worth, like I say, OPPB, be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget, play responsibly, and study. Study this, study the picture of the glass strategy. So when you see something that stands out, uh, you invest your money on it, and you're not guessing. Because there's going to be a lot of times you won't have to guess working with the law average. Because any pair can take 120 days and not show up, and you need to know that. Any number in their opposite, like I say, can take 90 days. Most time, I'll see that a number in its opposite. You can have a number in its opposite and not play for a whole year. It's normally about maybe 8 of them that might not play for a whole year, and those are the ones I carry into the next year, and they'll win like that. But yeah, and I know they're running pretty slow. YouTube is running really slow for some reason, but they do that to me. They do that to me. I know that. So if you double tap the screen, that'll give me a like. Double tap the screen, that'll give me a like. And it's the weirdest thing. Like it shows like only 6 people on here, but when I close it out, it'd be over 100 something views, and I don't understand that. Uh, but you just keep pushing. Like I said, I got over 2,000 videos for everybody to study and ask questions. So I'm sure a lot of folks, if they're following me, will start winning. I have a lot of people winning now, but I want to do more. And all I say, I don't make none. I haven't made none of the movie videos private. All I tell everybody is bless the channel. If the channel blesses you, and supporting the channel. People support the channel by getting the workout sheets from me and on one-on-one counseling. And they they're happy with the results. But I'm happy to do it. I'm retired, so and I put this system together, and I knew it would be valuable for a lot of people. Okay, Renee. Okay. Can I do research for clarity on Illinois? Okay, research for clarity. What are you referring to? Research for clarity. I'm not understanding what you're looking for on clarity for research on Illinois. I just, you might just came, but I just got through going through the rundown and the strategies for Illinois, and I will upload this video. So, what clarity would you be looking for? Anything specific when you say clarity and research? Oh, Renee. I don't know if my phone running slow. It's loading slow for some reason. It just started doing that, giving me that type of issue.
Bro, why did you do it to me?
Y'all excuse my grandkids. Okay, did you say some? I turned away. I don't know. I probably repeated something, Renee. I don't know, but I'm going to upload this video. But yeah, I just did the workout for Illinois, and all my workouts for the last year has been for Illinois. Uh, uh, for the rundown, so I just did that. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? But you go back and look. I just did a marathon of the last three long lives, Renee. Okay, all right. Happy Monday. But I just did a whole rundown playlist of training videos. Go to that playlist on my channel, and you got. I just put it together, and all that's covering Illinois. Okay. This is a question and answer session, pretty much. If you have any questions about the PICK-3 at a glance strategy specifically, like I said, pretty much what I'll be doing is question and answers. I suggest that I try to stay current on my videos. So if you go and look at something, and as you're looking at the videos, if it's something you don't understand, just take note or leave it in the comments, better yet. And then when you come to the lives, I can better explain it to you. I did have eye surgery, so it's messing with me a little bit. But I'm a trooper, and I'm working through it. But I'm trying to go between my eye surgery and my grandkids, because these kids, they don't play outdoors no more like we used to. They yell and holler and scream like they outdoors, So I mean, but between my eyes and my grandkids, I would try to do lives. They didn't go to school today. Lives when they at school and when they before they get home, get off, because the house belonged to them after that. But but yeah, I love it though. It beats. Hey, I'm 73, going on 74. I'll tell anybody at this age, for me, it beats living alone. It really does. Uh, yeah, it beats living alone, and I'm so happy that I got four. Well, I got six altogether here, but two of them are grown in college and working, and but I got four that's still here, two girls and two boys, and so oh man, when they get on them games, they're loud as can be, but they tamed right now, if you believe that. But yeah, so. But I love it. It beats living alone. I'm the oldest of 11. Uh, so, I mean, I got plenty of brothers and sisters to come by and stuff. But like I say, it's just, to me, it's better for me to be staying here with my daughter, because I do have a big home. And them big homes get lonely, believe it or not. I got, three rooms and big size home. But I'm single. My wife passed away in 2015. And I thought, okay, I can stay here by myself and stuff. And I really thought I could. I thought I could stay there by myself. But when my eyes started failing me, and I realized I had come somewhat dependent, and I'd step down a step and miss the whole two steps coming down the steps and stuff. And you don't want to be in that position. And when you get older with me, and I've always accept getting older and realized there was going to be things that I wouldn't be able to do. And I was just fortunate enough that my daughter's here. And she said, Dad, come stay with us. And I was always aware with my granddad, he was 84 when he passed, and he became dependent, but he didn't want to leave that house in Chicago. We tried to bring him to St. Louis to live with us, but he wouldn't leave. And I think that's kind of sad when you get older and you need help, you don't leave. I think to have a better life, you really do need to, go be with if your child want to take you in, don't make it hard on them. Go ahead and live with them. If you can, and they ain't abusing you or nothing. And it'd be hard for mine to abuse me because I got 11 brothers and sisters. They come over and kill everybody. And I'm the oldest. So I don't worry about nobody abusing me, boy. Not at all. Because we was always a gang by ourselves. We was always a gang by ourselves. We ain't worry about telling nobody in school about somebody messing with me. All I had to do go get my brothers and sisters. And when they see us standing outside the door, they have a different attitude about wanting to jump on me. Yeah. And the sisters was as big as the girls was big as the boys. But yeah, it's nice to have a big family. 11 brothers and 5 sisters. I was cool. I'm the oldest of 3 sets of twins back to back. My mother had 3 sets of twins back to back, and a single. My mother had 7 kids before she was 30 years old. And then my father passed away. He got murdered, and then she got remarried again and had 5 kids after that. So it was 11 of us all together. And then after she raised all us, she went to school and became a school teacher and retired as a St. Louis school teacher. So, hey, I don't have nothing to cry about. My life is full circle. And that's why I enjoy doing this, because I can help people with the PICK-3 and the lottery and not let them get in the hole that I was in, because I got in a bad situation. And I pulled myself out, and I want people to know that, play responsibly. You can win, and if we fix it where everybody winning real good, they can change the game at any time. I had a guy ask me the other day, well, can I retire playing the lottery? I said, if I was you, I wouldn't. He ain't gonna retire. I said, the only way you can retire playing the lottery if you own the lottery, because they can change the game anytime, like they did with this wild ball thing. It wasn't. I know everybody don't think this wild ball in our favor. I hope they don't. I hope you don't think this wild ball is in our favor. So yeah, but I know that tracking all 1,000 numbers is a whole lot better than everything else I was doing, and working with the law average. I never thought about using the law average until I started studying and studying. It was a one-word sentence when the guy say the numbers have to work with the law average. Those numbers have to rotate. He say they have to rotate, and working with the law average is how you use them to win. And then when I started investigating that, I realized it was true. The numbers have to rotate. And if you know what I mean by rotating, I don't know if you do, but I'll show you. It's a simple stuff. Right here. 1, 2, 3. See, when you say 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 gonna come. It's a single, so it can come 6 different ways. It can come 1, 3, 2. It can come 2, 1, 3. It can come 2, 3, 1, and also it can come 3, 1, 2. It can come 3, 2, 1. And that's all the ways that it can come of the 1,000 numbers. And they have to, each one of these numbers have to change changing positions. That's what they call the law average. And as the numbers are changing positions and you watching them, if you know that this number didn't play for the whole year tracking, then that would be your number to play. And what I look for conditioning, and you know the mirror, not the mirror, the opposite of the 1, 2, 3 is 6, 7, 8. And then it would be 6, 8, 7, and it would be 7, 6, 8. Then it would be 7, 8, 6. Then it would be 8, 6, 7, and it would be 8, 7, 6. See, all these numbers are opposite of each other. So if I know that this 3, 1, 2 and this opposite number here, the 8, 6, 7, the exact opposite, that's what I mean by the exact opposite, these would be my two numbers to play. Because working with the law average, one or the other is going to come out. And depending on how I look at it, will probably come exactly like this. There's no guesswork here. All this is opposite of each other. Same way if I was playing a double. Let's see, 5, 5, 1. It can come three ways. Come 5, 5, 1. It can come 5, 1, 5. Or it can come 1, 5, 5. It can only come three ways. And if I saw that its opposite didn't play, the opposite of this is 0, 0, 6, 0, 6, 0, and 6, 0, 0. That's what I'm looking for. I would play them two. If I know that number and its opposite didn't play, that's how you build a strategy and a skill set. All you got to do is look at the numbers and their opposites. That's what I mean by opposites. And that's why I don't call these numbers necessarily mirrors. I call them exact opposite when I use this system, because 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0, 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2, 3 opposite 8, 8 opposite 3, 4 opposite 9, 9 opposite 4. Opposite, not no daggone flipping, because people they'll say, well, all you got to do is flip the number. That's a different terminology right there, and that screws everything up. Yep. But that's what I mean. I always look for the number and its opposite that hadn't played. And you can get 4 of them like that. And you can do the same on the double or triple. If the 0, 0, 0 and the 5, 5, 5 ain't played, and I know it ain't played, when I decide to pick it up, those are two I play. I don't try to play all the triples. Why would I? And if I know no triple, and when I say if I know no triple has failed for the whole year, no trip ain't failed for the whole year up to November and December, by that time, by tracking, I automatically pretty much know what triples I'm going to play to hit. That way I ain't playing triples all year trying to hit and playing all the triples. Because they don't pay no more than none of the rest of the numbers when you hit them exact. And then when I hit them, I back off of them for the next year until November, December to see what happens. To see what happens. November and December. I really don't focus on triples too much. Once they hit, they just hit. That's all. Yep, I don't do it that way. Once you start using them picture at a glance strategy, you'll be able to see everything you need to see. All you need to do is study and build the skill set for your state, because all the state numbers gonna run different. I don't believe in numbers traveling. I don't believe rainy days bring numbers. I don't believe. Well, you won't believe in none of that once you start tracking the actual numbers, because you'll see what they're doing. You see, rain don't mean nothing on no number. Just cause they used to say play triple twos when it's raining. You go broke. Don't play triple twos cause they rain. Rain. If you see, if I play triple twos, I'm gonna know that the two. Let's see. Let me erase this. If I'm playing triple twos, let me move this down. Now I'm gonna leave that. Leave that up. Well, let's see. If I play triple twos, I'm gonna know everything about them twos before I play them. I'm gonna know. I'm gonna know the 2-2 ain't fell on the front, and I'm gonna know the 2-2 9 out of 10 ain't fell on the back. That's how I play my triples for the whole year. That a 2-2 ain't fell on the front or back. When I pick a number, working with the front and back, I know if the 5-2 ain't fell on the front and the 2-7 ain't fell on the back. That's my brother's birthday. I hear that real good. I know that, and I know that the 5-2-7 didn't fall at all for the whole year. And it's opposite 9 out of 10. The 7-2 ain't fail for the whole year. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, if you've been seeing a lot of ones and you feel good with it, um, I've been seeing a lot of eights. You can invest. It depends on your budget, Renee. I played 50 cents straight or a dollar straight for a while. Yeah, I would do that, but I ain't gonna bet no whole lot of money on them looking for them to come. Like I said, I'm only gonna play what I know, not what I'm guessing at. You see what I'm saying here? If I know, if you know 1-1 ain't fell on the front or the back from last year, if you go back and check, if you can go back and check, which I doubt it didn't. I don't know. I can't say that because I don't know. Only way you know is by tracking and finding out for sure. Then yeah, I would instead of playing it for 50 cents, I might pay it for a dollar or $2 if that's the trip I'm gonna use. But they do that sometimes. Okay, Renee Williams, can you do? Okay, a workout for Florida. I'm not sure what you asked in here, Renee, for a workout for Florida. But the thing is with the workout for I'm state specific for Illinois. Have you seen any of my videos, Renee? Or you just not visiting the channel? If if uh if you just visiting the channel, if you want me to do a rundown on it and on a number, show you just one of the strategies to kind of acclimate you to something, I can. But you say, can I do the workout for Florida? I want to know what specifically you might be looking for me to do. Do you want me to find what column a winning number is for the day? Do you want me to find a pair or uh, strategy number 3? What position the number fell in? But that's in all my videos. I'm gonna upload this video also when we get off. But see, okay, running down for Florida. Okay. What specifically What number? What was the evening number for Florida? Do you know what it is, Renee? Or I can do any number, and you can apply it to Florida. With my only rundown I use is the 111 rundown. Period. Okay. 774. This is the rundown I use. Are you familiar with the 111 rundown, Renee? Okay. The 111 rundown is the only one I use. They got hundreds of rundowns out there, okay? But only one with this PICK-3 land strategy that I use is the 111 rundown. And what you do is add 1 to the winning number that came in, like you say in Florida. And you're going to add 1 to the winning number that came in. So you're going to add 1 to the 7, you get 8. Then you're going to add 1 to the 8, you get 9. 1 to 9, you get 10, but you don't use the 1, you just use the 0. And lottery magic, you only use the single digit number on the right hand side, the 0. Then you add 1 to 0, you get 1. 1 to 1, you get 2. 1 to 2, you get 3. 1 to 3, you get 4. 1 to 4, you get 5. 1 to 5, you get 6. 1 to 6, you're going to get 7. When you get the same number at the bottom, you get at the top, you add it correctly. Okay? Same thing here, you're going to just count straight down, add 1. 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. Okay? Same thing here, you're going to add 1 to the 4, you're going to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. When you do this rundown, you're looking for the base number. What column this number is going to be under. And if you looked at my sheet, you'll have to go back and study some of the videos and see the columns. I took 22 numbers to make up all 1,000 numbers in their possible combinations. That's a double. Doubles are singles have 3 different numbers, like 1, 2, 3. Oh, I wrote 1, 2, 3. That's singles. Doubles have 2 numbers that are like, and let's say that's 1, 1, 2. And triples have all the numbers that are alike. That's a triple. These numbers can come 6 different ways. This can come 3 different ways, and this one comes 4 different ways. Let me move it over so you can see. And triple can only come one way. Okay? Now, this sheet is based off of looking for what number, what column the winning number would come in. And you'll be able to see that. You go back and look at the last 3 full videos, training videos I put up, explains it in detail. Now, I'm going to go to the double column because I'm looking for the 774 to see what column it would be under. And here's the double column. Okay? So I'm looking what double columns this 774 would be under. Now, all of these numbers, I call them base numbers that I came up with, have zeros in them. That's all they got is zeros in them. Once you do this, there's only 10 of them. You'll memorize what those base numbers will be. and their columns. Now, I'm just, with this rundown, I'm just going to look for the numbers with the zeros. Oops, let's see, what's this here? 8. I'm looking for just a number with the zeros. I know it's not going, the base number is not the 007. It's only 2 I'm up there. It's not the 007. And then you got the 330s. So it's, but it's going to show it's 033 on the workout sheet. And you see here is not this one. You got the 03003, and here it is down here. Here's the 033. And you'll go down there and you'll find the 774, but it shows as 477.